Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into it. Thank you for tuning into TBM Sports, and let's get it going. We're going to talk about the NBA and the NHL playoff games that we do have coming to you guys live tonight, Thursday 29th. It seemed a little senseless to make two separate videos, in my personal opinion. So I'm going to hit them both in this video. We're going to just briefly touch upon the hockey without getting really into too many props, but I will look at it from a side and total perspective, give you guys my take. NBA and NHL. I've kind of been comboing those two markets within the playoffs this season. And as you guys all know and are aware, I think the NBA playoffs are one of the more profitable kind of ventures within sports betting year in and year out. Okay, and that's what we're going to get into today. I'll break down the Pacers-Knicks game as well, and we'll get into that one right away. But before we do, make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us right here on TBM Sports. The baseball video is out with my best bets in the short MLB card we have, so make sure you guys check out that as well. But I want to talk about the NBA game first, and we will kind of touch upon kind of what happened last night a little bit. For those of you on Discord that did end up tailing that, Anthony Edwards, 2 assists away from a nice little 20-1 hit. That was a very strong parlay that we did have with that empty netter within Florida. So a little cross-sport parlay lottery ticket that we did put together. 2 assists short and shy for Anthony Edwards. That really did kind of hurt us in that regard, but we live to bet another day, and let's get right into the action. I am going to use Outlier to show you guys what I'm doing. If you guys do not use Outlier, check them out. 7-day free trial. Link down below. Sign up. If you hate it, cancel anytime, but I guarantee you I use it each and every single day. Even when I'm watching games live, it does give me an edge. Please keep that in mind. Forget about signing into each and every sports book and checking odds, checking lines, and looking for the edge out there. This kind of simplifies it for a small nominal price per month. It definitely is priceless in my opinion since I've started using it. Okay, but let's get into the action. We will break this one down. Let's look at the NBA first and foremost. This is an exciting kind of situation that we have going on here as we look in kind of what we have going in this market. Now, this is something where as we look at game 5, okay, the Pacers are looking to close this one out, punch their ticket to meet their destiny within the Oklahoma City Thunder. Karl Anthony Towns, a little hobbled in the fourth quarter late last game. That's something that we are going to make a mention of and talk about that. Kind of does play into my handicap. And I understand the desperation heave. I understand kind of what Knicks fans are banking on. And guys, I don't know if you saw it, but check out the Pat McAfee, a little intro there in Indianapolis, calling out calling out Spike Lee, Timothy, I don't even know how you say his name, Chauvelet or something like that. Anyways, you got to see it. Check it out. Do a quick search on X or on Google. You'll find McAfee's intro, but got the crowd going. And I know that the Madison Square Garden will be rocking tonight. I just don't quite frankly agree with the handicap. And you're going to tell me that the Knicks are going to flip a switch and get better with a little bit of injury concerns within Karl Anthony Towns. I know Nesmith is going to be questionable, probably out for this game. I think last thing I checked on that. But guys, I'm going to look at this game in a couple different ways. But I just don't quite frankly understand the love the Knicks are getting. I know it's do or die, win or go home. But you cannot tell me that this game is not close to a pick 'em, despite having a desperation spot. And that plus 152, I know it's laughable, but I've been on the Indiana Pacers money line pretty much in all 3 of their games that they weren't, unless they were like heavy favorites, which I don't think happened all too often. But Pacers this season, even against the Cavaliers, the Pacers money line has been one of the more profitable vehicles in the NBA betting world this postseason. And I don't see any reason in hell that we cannot not back that. So maybe it's a little bit too public right now. If we look kind of the handle, 62% of that handle is on the Pacers money line, albeit 81% of the people in the market taking the Knicks -4. So a little sharp movement towards the Knicks. That is the sharp side, mind you. Okay. That is the sharp side. So I just don't quite frankly see it. I don't think that the Pacers are going to do kind of what we saw a little bit in the hockey world. They're not going to put that foot off the gas pedal, in my personal opinion, in that game, in the game 5s. I just don't think you want to go 3-2 to the Knicks, where we all know how that kind of works out, right? If the Knicks end up winning 2 straight, it's similar to Cavaliers Golden State Game 7. Anything can happen. All bets are off. So a lot of people out there do have some Indiana Pacers futures money. That's something where, I just think that this is how it is. You cannot afford to let this game linger. That's kind of how I feel about it. And I will be taking the Indiana Pacers here on the money line, okay, at plus 152. Best number available. Okay, if we want to go into some more stuff here within the Pacers, we're going to look at the team total. This is a bet that I do favor quite often with them as well. And that's where we're going to look at the over 109.5 at minus 112. That is my best bet of the day. If you don't like the money line, you don't want to get greedy, you don't want to shoot for some plus money, the Pacers over their team total has hit in 80% of the last 10 games. And even if you want to get a little crazy, get a little alternate within it, they are on the road. Scoring does go down quite a bit. But going down this list, I mean, look at the over 113.5 at plus 155. That has hit in 80% of the last 10 games as well. There is a potential for overtime, in my personal opinion, in this game. If it is a little bit of a closer, knotted up game between the Knicks and the Pacers, do not rule out overtime. But for me and my money, guys, we're going over the Pacers 110.5 as my best bet. That is, over 109.5 at minus 112 is my best bet. So Pacers, give me a buck 10, and we'll cash that ticket and get on our way. All right, if we go into the player prop market, this is something where a lot of people talk about kind of what we had going on. A lot of people do have Karl-Anthony Towns, most rebounds in the postseason, some of those series bets that you were able to take. But the one that I do kind of like a lot is the player prop. Okay, and this will be, I believe it'll be under general because it doesn't really specify offense or defense, and that's where we're going to find the likes of my man Josh Hart, okay, who has been a bull for me riding just recently, and you can see right here in the market, since he's been kind of benched, role reduced, kind of, hey, we need you to play ball kind of mentality coming out from Tom Thibodeau. The over 8.5 here at minus 135. That number has climbed a ton. Okay, I'm not going to lay the double potential over 9.5. If you do want to look at Josh Hart double, I do think that is a very strong proposition, especially if Karl-Anthony Towns is, say, 75%. Okay, probably the best rebounding guard in the NBA. And he is coming off the bench. I don't know if he still will be in this game, but, it kind of did work out for the Knicks. And I think that in looking at last game, game 3, he had 10 rebounds, okay, in game 3. And in game 4, he had 11 rebounds and 12 points. So the Josh Hart double, very attractive in plus money. And also, I kind of think that you just got to shoot for it, guys. 8.5 at minus 135, one of my favorite bets. So that will be kind of what I'm looking at a minus 135 price. I wish I got a little bit earlier when it was around $1.20, but this is what I'm giving out. I still stand by it, and I think Josh Hart gets 10 or more, okay? And that's kind of my favorite prop of the evening, okay? The next thing that I want to talk about, and very similar to the ill will that we did have within Anthony Edwards not getting his assist prop cash, but we did look into some TJ McConnell for the Pacers in the last game. And boy, was that a bad beat, as only needed 1 point or 1 assist. And we had some inbounds plays late in the game. They put him in for free throw purposes. And he ended up taking the ball out of bounds in both cases that the Knicks did foul, sending, I believe it was Nembhard or Neesmith to the line. Just kind of is what it is. But moving forward, I do think that he kind of went under his expected last game. I look for him to kind of bounce back. I do like that. Points and assists over 9.5, especially if the Knicks end up kind of getting the job done. I do think he will get some more run later on in the game. One thing I do want to talk about, though, also is OG Anunoby, okay, from a point perspective. In this number, there was some crazy betting statistic within OG Anunoby within his career, over 14.5 points. It's just absolutely insane. And it might have been on the road, but if you look at kind of the last 5 games, he has cashed that. And that's kind of where we're going to lean into the number kind of being unbettable. All right. I would have loved to get involved with this. Can't do it. Over 15.5. I know it's a 70% proposition, but that's at minus 166 right now. That's unbettable. So if you want to get involved with OG, I do think he gets a lot of points in this game. So if you want to kind of look into that market, you're going to have to kind of find a combo out there where we could find points and assists potentially. Not really too much in that market, but I think that the points, rebounds, that's kind of where you're going to look into the best value, as he had 4 boards yesterday or last game. 40% of the last 10 did not cash that. More so a point scorer for the Knicks, and also an on-ball defender. So I do think this is something where if you do think we get a strong performance, maybe a little Towns inactivity, less active, I think that OG and Anunoby shows out tonight, but not an official play for me. Okay. Also, want to kind of touch upon kind of the performance we saw from the likes of Tyrese Halliburton. And if you want to kind of get into kind of what he was up to, this is very, very interesting because he damn near almost came close to 60 points, rebounds, and assists in that contest. And I actually saw a live bet during that contest where it was like plus 105 that he'd go over 60. And I think he ended up with 59 total. Okay. But that's kind of where you're going to look at. If you do think Tyrese Halliburton points, rebounds, and assists gets back up there, there's some extreme value if he shows out once again. Kind of a long shot on the board, but you can take a over 44.5 at plus 275. Like I said, again, overtime perspective, that is still live. Something very juicy if you do want to get involved with that. But the 12-1 bet that we did see yesterday, our last game, 54.5. Kind of a long shot. So if you have a bonus bet out there, don't be scared to play some of these alternates at plus money, kind of maximizing your value in that regard. Okay. Karl-Anthony Towns, that's a guy that we've been kind of big on. I don't really know, quite frankly, his health concerns. Okay. We've been playing his over PRA, more in specific, the points and rebounds. And now as you look at it, guys, we have a 34.5 is the best number at minus 120 on DraftKings. So that's going to be something very interesting. I'm not going to get involved. I'm kind of staying away from the Karl-Anthony Towns just because I don't know how bad his ankle was. He was hobbled. I know that they'll probably get him going, but if this one gets out of hand, I could definitely see him taking a seat on the bench for the conclusion of this NBA season, kind of ending up his 24-25 campaign in that regard. Okay. And the other guy, I think that will have a huge night tonight, Pascal Siakam. We played his points and rebounds going over. You kind of look at it right now, the market has adjusted very well. 25.5 at minus 132. Definitely something I do like. With Neesmith potentially not going, I think that we also have the opportunity to kind of get our man, Andrew Nembhard back into the action. Look at his points prop. He failed to hit it last game, but it has been a very strong proposition here. As you look at the over 10.5, 3 of his last 5 and 60% of his last 10 going over 10.5. I think that in his point, in his category, I kind of would look into some 3-point conversations, and this is going to be something where you're going to have to kind of get creative. Okay. But if we go down and we find the 3-point category for some of these players, okay, and in specific, if we look for Andrew Nembhard, okay, so if you want to find the over a half 3, take that minus 280. I think FanDuel does let you do it, but taking Andrew Nembhard, okay, and also going down the list, you could go into some of these other bets, right? Andrew Nembhard. You could also take the likes of Aaron Neesmith if he is going to be active. I don't know. Even some of the ones like Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Okay, not attempts, but you could see kind of right here how these odds definitely go up. I kind of like going into this direction. Okay, you potentially can bank on the parlay in a sense. Okay. I'm not going to get involved with OG and Anunoby. I know he has hit 90%. He's had at least one, but if you use Andrew Nembhard going over a half and you find some other ones kind of in that market, I think Pascal Siakam might be a great one to kind of couple, but you can couple, at minus 310. I definitely would consider that. You can couple a few of those together and get that maybe 3 or 4 that are pretty much guarantees around even money. That is a very strong proposition, I think, in that regard as well. Okay. But that'll about wrap it up. Like I said, guys, I am fading the Karl-Anthony Towns narrative. I don't know what it is with Jalen Brunson. Has not looked stable. I'll kind of show you guys kind of what he's been doing from a all-encompassing perspective. Note of this series. He's got over 31 last game. That was not a easy 31. Okay. It looked like he fought for every single point last contest. And I think that if Karl Anthony Towns is kind of on the mend, I do look for Jalen Brunson to say, hey, win or go home, and really get that usage, that utilization up. And I could see him having kind of a long evening in terms of just wearing himself out. I mean, I think he could be super gassed, involved with every single play, touching the ball every play. The other one kind of too is back in that 3-point prop. If you do want to parlay some of those, what we've seen with can't think of his now, but tip of my tongue. That's where we're going to look for. Where is this guy? Mikal Bridges. Okay, so Mikal Bridges definitely would add him into that mix as well, just to get one. Okay, but within the Jalen Brunson market, all right, I'm going to show you guys kind of what I would be eyeing. Points, rebounds, and assists. Okay, he's only hit this in 30% of his last 10. Okay, they have this number pretty appropriate, but if he is going to have a 50 PRA kind of game, it would be tonight. I think this is just where it sets the table up pretty nicely. Towns being on the mend, not 100%. I probably would venture into even an alternate market with him as well. So plus 320 to go over 49.5. This could be a Jalen Brunson night where we just see an outstanding performance. Him dropping 40. I could see that definitely happening. But if he's doing that, his assists will go down a little bit as well. So that's a very tough task. For me, though, guys, I think that this is something that does lend towards the conversation where we might have to pull the card. All right, so Jalen Brunson, if you want to kind of get into that, points, rebounds, and assists, I definitely think that's on the table. The one thing that I will point out about him, though, before we get out of here, if we look kind of the rebound market, okay, and more in specific, he's only had 1, 3, 2, and 2, respectively. So his rebounding numbers have been down against the versus the Pacers versus Boston. That has been something as stuck out to me. So I don't know if it's how they're guarding him. I think that's, there is a conversation to be had about that. The game plan has not been working. Knicks are down 3-1. I could just see them kind of just saying screw it and going all in trying to get that one done. So I definitely would lend towards Jalen Brunson going over and fading Karl Anthony Towns if you wanted to get into some of the superstar markets. Okay. And just to get out of here, guys, we will kind of briefly touch upon the NHL. Like I talked about, the Edmonton Oilers and Dallas Stars. Everybody and their brother is on the Dallas Stars tonight. We talk about Zach Hyman out for the postseason with that injury. That's unfortunate for him as we look at kind of what Edmonton has been able to do. And just to put it briefly, Dallas Stars have scored outside of that game. Fantastic. And, kind of the common denominator with him is that he always gets it done later on in these games, in these 7-game series. So I do think that, Dallas has to play well. They are at home. It will be rocking, but I'm not going to get involved too much with the prop perspective. Ropey Hintz is back for Dallas as well. I think that kind of helped the narrative. And if you look at kind of Edmonton, that game was it was 2-1 into the third. So I do understand the Dallas love. If anything, guys, in this game, I hate to do it, but the best bet I would have would be the under 6.5 at -135. And if you do want to get a little bit risky, if you want to kind of play the under 7.5, you can find that and then maybe take Dallas plus 1.5, little same game parlay. That doesn't correlate too much. So if anything, I would be taking Edmonton plus 1.5, plus 1 with an under 7 flat. If you can find any sports books that do offer that, that's something that is very entertaining to me if we were going to talk about that. So that'll about wrap it up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I know this was a little bit longer NBA, a little bonus NHL play, but yeah, I'm on the under for Dallas and Edmonton. But outside of that, no real clear indication. Maybe outside of playing a little shots on goal prop from the likes of Draisaitl. You could get into that with Nugent Hopkins and Connor McDavid. I think that will pay a little close to even money. And Jason Robertson got his scoring last game. I could see that one kind of keeping that action going. Maybe him in terms of a point. But outside of that, Mikko Rantanen has been kind of held under wraps this series with Edmonton. And I'm not a big kind of Edmonton lover. I'm kind of anti Connor McDavid personally from a betting standpoint. I know that probably isn't a smart idea, but from the prices, it's just something I stay away from. And Stuart Skinner always has the potential to give up 5 goals in any game. So it would not shock. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Those are my best bets. Quick recap of the official plays. We talked about Josh Hart going over his rebounds, 8.5 at -135. Indiana on the money line, and I will be on the Indiana team total over 109.5, and as well as the under Edmonton and Dallas at 6.5 at -135. So appreciate you guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you all tomorrow in the next video. Good luck with your picks. Cheers.